Well, hi everyone, it's Joe for Hire. It's Monday, November the 19th, 2018. Hopefully everyone's having a great week. And this year I've been really happy because I had the most amount of fall cleanup jobs lined up as I ever had. And it's like, well, this be good. This be a nice way to get me set off just before the switch over to the snow removal in the wintertime. But guess what happened a week ago Thursday? It snowed a lot. And it was wet, heavy snow. My family and I, we went away for a week's vacation in Orlando, Florida, and we came home to this. And I had to drive home in this from Toronto. I had it in four-wheel drive almost all the way on the 401. It was that slow. There was like 2 inches of slush on the road, so even if you could go fast, you couldn't stop because you'd just be hydroplaning. But we got home safe and sound. Less than 24 hours after we left Florida, I was already back to shoveling snow. So that was kind of a shock to the system. We had a great time in Florida because we didn't get away too much in the summer. So we really had fun down there. Got to swim in the ocean. Most days we were swimming in the pool, either in the morning or at night after we did the theme parks. We got to Universal 2 days. We did get to Disney World for 1 day, and that was great. Kids enjoyed it. This weather, that really bums me out. To try to do leaf removal, I worked up right up until Thursday evening before we left. Our flight was at 6:20 Friday, or 6:20 the following morning, and I worked right up to about maybe 7 o'clock, 7:30 that night, trying to do leaves removal at one lady's place. Good thing, because then this came. Not a lot you can do with it. It's just the way Mother Nature is. It was just frustrating to come back to it and not have like a day or so just to get rested up and then go back into it. But yeah, not fun. It's supposed to warm up for the weekend. The problem is all my customers, they were patient enough to wait while the snow's still on the ground. They all said, well, first warm day, come and help us. Well, there's only one of me, so I'm not going to get everything done. And so I'm always trying to learn from all this stuff. This is the first time in almost 2 or 3 years I've had this problem. The last couple of years, the snow's been late coming. There was like the last, I think 2 years ago, it was really mild in November, and I was doing lots of cleanup jobs and never had this issue. It's not unusual for us up here in Canada to have snow around November. It is unusual to have this much and to have it stay this long. It's been here for almost a week now. And normally we just get a light dusting and then it's gone the following day. But everyone told me when I came back home, they said, Joe, it was mediocre while you're gone. But that Thursday before I came home, they said it just turned cold and it went from rain to snow. And that snow was heavy. I didn't even have my blowers back yet. They were still in my dad's storage. So I had to go. So like we got in at 11:30. We got back to St. Mary's. Our plane landed at 4:30 in the afternoon in Pearson, but it took us 11:30 to get home. And so I had no time to go get them. And I'm sure I wasn't the only contractor caught, for a lack of a better terms, caught with your pants down, not having your equipment ready. The equipment was ready. It was over an hour away. I didn't have time to go get it, so I had to shovel snow. Allison had the day booked off, and I really got to thank her because she gave up her day off to come and help me shovel, and without her, I don't think I could have done it all, so, because it was wet, heavy snow. And, but the good news is, Dad had the blowers filled up. He even put premium gas in it. It's like, Dad, you didn't have to do that. Well, it's done. There you go. So, Dad had them all ready for me, and, the blowers are back here now, so we're ready for the next blast. I don't know if you guys have found this or not. The last few years I find there's not a lot of lag time or downtime between the seasons. Like it seems to go from cutting grass into fall cleanups and then boom, right into snow removal. And that's hard. It takes time to get stuff ready. And if you're busy cutting lawns, busy doing leaf cleanups, you don't have time to put your equipment away to get it cleaned up. Like the lawn, I had to take one lawnmower home to my dad's for storage to get the other two, and he stores the lawnmower and I bring back the snowblowers. That's the only space he has. And he looked at my Cub Cadet. He goes, "Oh man, you can't put that away for the winter. It's still dirty. It's still covered in leaves." It's like, Dad, I was doing leaves right up to the night I left for holidays, so I just did not have time. So when the weather's warmer, obviously we'll go out and get the Cub Cadet cleaned up. It's been a great mower. I'm always thinking, do I keep it? Do I sell it? In one way, I really, really hate to sell that. That was the first lawnmower I bought on my own. And for Hills and St. Mary's, it's been great. The bag, it has a bagger on it. The bagger doesn't have a blower or turbo on it, so it's just the props from the prop rods from the blades. It does clog up a lot, I notice, but that's just the way it is. It does a great job shredding leaves. The X-Mark does too. It actually has a mulch kit on it. I think next year I might reverse it. Next year I may get, this is what my dad suggested. See, Dad, I do listen to you. He always says I don't, but I do listen to him. Dad suggested, hey Joe, how about next year you put a mulch kit on the Cub Cadet and then leave the bagger that has the bigger turbo on the X-Mark? Because right now I have the mulch kit on, and I just don't have time to switch between mulching and the bagger system, which is why I had the both mowers here, because I could always put the bagger on the Cub Cadet, but then it clogs up really easy. And maybe with all these wet, heavy leaves, the X-Mark would too. I don't know. It's nice when you shred the leaves because you're not worried about emptying out the back of the truck. Like, I still had leaves in the back of my truck from the night I left to go to Orlando. I just got them off the truck today. So yeah, that's just one option I'm considering next year. It was nice when I got the X-Mark. It had everything. It had like the mulch kit. It had the Ultravac system. It has the OCD discharge chute on it. And that's great. And so I just got to get organized better to see, you know, I was just trying to see how well the mulch kit works, and the mulch kit works really well. Shreds up the leaves really good. And you're not worried about bagging or unloading the leaves. Like the last leaf job I did, they were so heavy and wet, I couldn't even shred them with the Cub Cadet. I actually had to use my gas blower, blow them on the tarp, haul them on the trailer. And that was a lot. I had 2 tarps on my trailer, and that's how many leaves were there. And man, I talk about scrambling just before you're getting ready to go. But so yeah, it's nice to have that option with the 2 mowers. I know my girlfriend always says, why do you need 2 mowers? You can't drive them at the same time. It does offer a little bit of flexibility. Obviously, it's a good backup. If one mower goes down or I have a flat tire, I can always fall back on the next one. They can both bag. One obviously bags better than the other one. I find with the Cub Cadet, even without the mulching kit, it does really well with shredding leaves. But I think I will look into a mulching kit for leaves on that one, and then next year see how well I do. Because a lot of people, they still want the leaves bagged. Some people could care less, but some people say, no, we don't want any residue blowing around in our grass. Just take it away. So that's what I'm going to do next year. So always room for improvement. And sometimes when life gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade. So there's a few indoor jobs I have lined up I can do. And just try and get better organized so we're ready for the next blast of winter. Hopefully this melts. It's going to take a while for it to dry up, if it dries up at all. So I'm really not sure how I'm going to do the rest of the leaves. It's just one of those things that happens. So anyways, guys, hope you guys are having a good week. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And for now, this is Joe for Joe for Hire, signing off.